And you're live.
All right, we're live.
Awesome. We are live. GM, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from anywhere you are. We are live now at Bybit. And with us here, we have Zhou, the CEO and co-founder of Bybit. So thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Yun Han. I'll be the host for today's sharing. So before I begin, let me just quickly introduce to everyone here what is MoDAO. And this being our first sharing, we have a very important guest here who is Ben from Bybit, who has willingly gave some of his time for this sharing as well. So thank you, Ben, we really appreciate it. What is MoDAO? MoDAO is a blockchain ecosystem builder, and our vision is to build, grow and empower the entire blockchain ecosystem. To kickstart this initiative, we have actually launched a Web 3.0 hackathon that is currently happening. So this hackathon, there are 3 tracks to it. One is to build your own metaverse or build on top of other metaverse. The second is building decentralized autonomous organizations. So if you want to build a DAO, potentially you can join our hackathon as well. The third is multi-chain solutions. Because right now, if you are a DeFi user, you are using different blockchain. You can see that it's very hard to bridge between different blockchain. The usability is pretty bad. So if you are a builder in blockchain, you want to solve problem, if you are a DeFi degen, if you are a super shadowy coder, we invite you to join us for our upcoming hackathon. For more information about the hackathon, please refer to our description at the YouTube description below to sign up and to register for the hackathon. Awesome. So without further ado, let's have Ben here to introduce himself and also to share more about his entrepreneurship journey. Yeah, because everyone know Ben as Bybit CEO, but what is he other than that? So Ben, can you please help to share?
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. First of all, my name is Ben. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Bybit. We are super excited and glad to be a main sponsor for MoDAO. MoDAO is a initiative to really kind of bootstrap the developer community in crypto, and really, I think they're hosting their first hackathon. So if you don't know, check it out. I'm their first guest, so no pressure, but I'll try my best to kick this thing off in a good start. I think you asked me about my previous background. Obviously, we started Bybit since 2018, and you know, it's been a long journey. Bybit had kind of started as a crypto derivative exchange, and now we are kind of gradually switching our gears, level up, so that we're becoming a crypto, I guess, platform for all crypto lovers. So we've recently introduced spot trading. We have bumped our game on fiat on-ramps. We have introduced Bi-Fi Center, which is the flexible, non-flexible savings. And we are launching a few more products. In fact, I'm doing a product launch very soon, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I mean, recently one of the core questions Bybit had always asked is how can we contribute more to the decentralized ecosystem or to DeFi? Because being a centralized exchange, we know we're in crypto, but we also know we're not in crypto. The main happening is really on the other side. I would like to describe the party is on Mars, and we realize we're still on Earth. How do we get to Mars? So we've launched BitDAO. That's our key initiative. Bybit is the biggest contributor for BitDAO. A lot of the audience probably are Bit token holders. There are a lot more things going to happen on that end. But also we are now helping with MoDAO, which is education front on the in crypto. Hopefully to see more things happening in that perspective. So that's our kind of a linkage, I guess, how we want to involve ourselves more into the whole DeFi world or decentralized the universe. My previous background before crypto, I was I was running a Forex platform for 7 years. And being the kind of more traditional sector and moving into crypto, definitely a lot of challenges, but I think now definitely made the right choice, being this exciting new industry. So I'm wake up glad I made that choice every day, and it's just amazing seeing things happening from 2017 until now. All the infrastructure has been built. Very much looking forward to what's to come in the future. Yeah.
Awesome. So Ben, as an entrepreneur, because I think you're also pretty young, right? So as an entrepreneur, what are the challenges you have faced in this industry, especially because crypto is so fast moving?
Yeah.
What are some challenges Bybit also has faced as well?
The biggest challenge is how to keep up with all the innovations. And because crypto is such a new industry, it gives company like Bybit a ecosystem or environment to really test out waters by providing that product and service. But it's open sea. So it's like that big open sea kind of new world that we are kind of on a sailing boat.
Wild West crypto.
When you go into the open sea, it's scary because there are so many directions to go, and the opportunities all over the place. But making the choice and commit to it and build a solid product to your path, and knowing that you're gonna head there, it's actually the most difficult one of the things. So making the choice and be determined, and also making sure that you don't get dragged away by all the noises that's happening. I think there are so many new things happening in crypto, which is good. But as a entrepreneur or as a Bybit kind of a platform, we need to keep reminding ourselves what's our route is here to serve the client, provide the product. So no matter what noises we hear, what kind of things we think, we always have to sit down and say, how can we best serve our client by providing the best product and service, by listening to their feedbacks, listen, care, improve. That's our module, So it's you gotta be active, you gotta be all over the place, understanding where's the new direction, but you also constantly need to be dragged back to come back down to earth and remind yourself you're here just to build a platform and to make it happen and to really provide a product and service. So I think that's one of the toughest challenge in this kind of industry.
And I think Bybit has done pretty well because you are only a few years old, 3-4 years old, but you are one of the top 10 exchanges, especially for derivatives already. So since I think initially the focus of Bybit was derivative trading, but with a new direction, I have also checked out Bybit new direction. You want to focus more on the crypto users. So can you help to share more about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were very focused in derivatives, and we were very proud in that. So since we launched in 2018 until end of 2020, our strategy and goal had always been purely focused on derivatives, and that's what we were good at. I mean, my background, like I mentioned, was in Forex. So that's what we're good at, that's what we knew. We were good at building a very specific product, very deep. So because coming from directly build derivatives, it's actually very hard. In terms of specifications, margin calculations, matching engine, all the capabilities, it's almost, let's say, building an airplane, let's say, okay? But what we realized when the bull market started again in 2021 is that most of the crypto users coming into crypto, they require different services. Let's say out of the 10 new crypto users, maybe one of them is trader. The rest of them are really require fiat on-ramps or spot trading, or they want to participate in DeFi, field yield farming, all these things. And we realized we were good at building product, and we are proud that we are product builders. But one of the saddest things is when you build a product, but not the majority of the mass that's in the industry don't ever use you, right? Yeah. So that's one of the main pinpoint that most of our team was thinking like, well, okay, if we're focused only on derivatives, we can never satisfy all these other users who came into crypto for other services. So we were like, okay, it's time to probably broaden our strategy and broaden our product line. So we really beefed up our tech team and the product team this whole year. And I mean, the first 6 months of 2021, we spent tons of time in hiring the right talent, building the team, and you can start to see that the result is showing this quarter. Is that our spot product has launched, and we are gaining speed, market share rapidly. We are providing clients what they want: launchpad, launch pool. We're giving them the Bybit, the stake, flexible, non-flexible staking. A few product spot, option product is coming up,
Yeah,
and a
so
few
many different products.
Exactly. So that's all because we switched our gears early the year to.
Service the whole industry.
Exactly. Our goal was initially serving crypto traders, but now it's serving all crypto lovers.
Awesome.
So that's
and
the plan.
I can also see as well you're helping out education projects, like incubating talents, incubating projects in this space. So this is awesome as well. With this, recently I've seen Bybit has also put some focus in NFTs. I see some NFT competition with some apes NFT as well. So can you share from your point of view, what are some trends you are seeing in the crypto industry and what should we know about them?
Yeah, be very frank. I think the whole NFT is one of the things that caught a lot of people off guard, especially people in the industry. I believe majority of the volume is happening in OpenSea, it's coming in a decentralized form, but the team is very excited. So Bybit is actually preparing for our NFT market. On top of that, we are having a little bit fun with NFT. So the team built I think they're coming out with a NFT competition or something called the Bybit Apes. Because a lot of people in social media say Bybit Apes, that. So it's okay, let's make fun of that and let's just catch on that meme.
And I see your Twitter has an ape face.
Exactly. So it's supposed to have a little bit negative connotation, but we're kind of letting it sink in and just be welcoming that idea what the community is having fun with, and just becoming more crypto native, right? So the logic of making an NFT market from Bybit, it's really simple. It's that we want to try something new. To be honest, I also don't know where it's gonna go to. The team wants to innovate.
Yeah, Web3 is so huge, right?
Exactly.
So expensive, so many things that
Exactly,
you can
and a lot of people say it's probably the volume is still stay on OpenSea, but you know the team wants to try it. We want to innovate. We want to encourage the innovative spirit. So let's try it out and see how it's going to lead to us. Maybe it's going to lead to something. Maybe the client or users at some point want to use a centralized service for NFT. But I think they're building a hybrid version. So it's both centralized and decentralized form of marketplace on Bybit that's coming up.
Talking about this, because you know Web3 DeFi is so decentralized. So how do you think centralized exchanges like Bybit can coexist with decentralized finance? And what do you think is the future?
Yeah. So
do you think you are more of like working against each other, or we have the potential to work together to cooperate between CeFi and DeFi?
It's never against. It will never be against. I think it's always going to be a coexisting type of situation, right? You cannot live without one another. So centralized exchange have its own functions. Providing the gateways, for example, is very efficient. For certain product, when people are seeking for efficiency and they are seeking for, let's say, liquidity, matching capabilities, such as derivatives, I think a centralized exchange will always prevail. But there might be other solutions in decentralized form that's coming up. But at least in the short time being, still a centralized will play its way. And also centralized exchange like Bybit have many grasp on user acquisition, on providing the service and the product. That's something you cannot replace. I mean, people can always shopping online, but why are you still wanting to go to those local shops? I think it's not because of the convenience, it's because of the service and the feeling and the touch, right? So I think it's never going to be kind of replaced. It's coexisting. And also I would like to say that centralized exchange has been always served as the bridge. I mean, the party is happening in Singapore, but you need to get people into Singapore, right? You need the bridge, you need the road, you need the airport, you need the infrastructure. So centralized exchange is more like the infrastructure, the port, to get you to the place you want, to DeFi. I'm sure if you want to come to DeFi today, you don't just directly jump to Uniswap, right? Or something. You got to come in probably in a centralized exchange to get your first token, understand the whole thing, and then gradually move on to there. So I think it's coexisting. It's gonna be a mingled form, right? Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So nice analogy as well. I totally agree. We do need a ramp, and sometimes we cannot just jump into DeFi. We still need a fiat to crypto ramp, which is what CeFi can provide as well.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, what do you think are some key challenges that our industry is currently facing, and what can we do to improve the situations?
Yeah, I think this kind of one of the key thing we noticed is still the whole DeFi space is very difficult to entry, barrier to entry.
Yes.
The core people that are playing with really all these, let's say, DeFi field year from, and even the games, right, are very crypto already native people. Now, if we talk about my uncle, your auntie, that kind of level, it's something so alien to them. Is how do we really bring the mass? Let's face it, no matter how big we are now, the mass is not moving in yet. It needs, again, centralized service probably to move into the... what I mean is, DeFi is like very deep in the forest. It's hard to get in there. So I think education plays a huge key role, and that's why I like to work with Modal. I think you guys have the right mentality to work on education through developers, educating the mass about what is DeFi, what is all these acronyms. Yeah, what is Web3, right? What is
GM, Whack Me?
Exactly. NFT, what does it mean exactly to the mass? Put it simple, educate the people. I think a lot more of that could be done. And I love how it's going to be done through a DAO, which is a form that coming from the forest, but coming back into the mass to teach people what is down there look like and how you can work there and guide the people. So I think that's something very much lacking. I would love to see more things, and we would love to support more of the initiatives. Other than that, I think still infrastructure is a little bit lacking in the space, but it's definitely much better compared to 2017. So we are heading to the right way. It's getting better, but yeah.
I think we're still at the 1990s of the internet.
Yeah.
So a lot of things to improve on, but the future looks super bright for crypto as well, which is awesome. So speaking of which, Ben, just now you mentioned you all are investing in Modal, and also you are contributing to BitDAO as well. So can you please share more about your involvement in these projects? Especially, I think we do have some misconceptions regarding Bybit and BitDAO. So maybe you can also take this time to clarify the involvement and highlight how BitDAO is really a DAO, not owned by anyone. It's owned by the governance token holders.
Yeah. A lot of people kind of have that confusion because Bybit is the biggest supporter for BitDAO. We commit 2.5 bips of our derivative volume on a daily basis into BitDAO. BitDAO now is the largest DAO in terms of the treasury size in the world. It's backed by many investors like Peter Thiel, Pantera, Dragonfly, and currently it's actually been traded not only on Bybit, on many exchanges. But Bybit has obviously is the biggest contributor. Like the energy I said, analogy I mentioned that it's a way for us to moving more into the whole decentralized space through BitDAO. But BitDAO is very independent. They actually have their own team and developers working on the initiatives. I think recently they did a few swaps and proposals. all of that is not really under my control. But I'm a majority voter. I'm one of the major voters.
When was the last time you voted on
the last one was on actually the last proposal was with the game proposal. They're gonna work with Forte for a 500 million foundation to bring traditional games into the space. So I looked at the idea, I looked at the proposal, it's pretty solid, so I voted in. That's kind of the relationship between Bybit and BitDAO. I think it's also a similar relationship between us and MoDAO. I think you mentioned investor, we are not investor because to MoDAO we are more of a supporter as well.
Yeah.
Not really for financial gains. So that is the idea. It's really to get ourselves involved. That's the spirit.
So what do you think for MoDAO, what should our key focus be on? Like what do you have any vision for it or any advice for us? Especially for now we are just starting. So what are some key focus area you think it is good to target for now?
Yeah, I think there's a few. Definitely I think you are starting at the right spot. You're making your first hackathon and united a bunch of really developer communities. I mean, that is the core of crypto, right? And you want to help these communities to really grow and develop the latest project. And if you spot the right talent or the right team, MoDAO can also help them to incubate their project and grow into something that is very fruitful and contributing to the industry. So I think that initial move is very good. One typical issue I've seen with a lot of the startup project, and I went through it myself, is the focus was too big initially. So initially I think stick with one focus area. I think you guys done it, the developer communities, the hackathon, and then the education part, which is good. So I think you are on the right track. And I love to see more hackathon, more involvement with the developer communities coming from MoDAO. And I think a lot of your own constitution has not been established. I would love to see as you grow, your community gets bigger, and I would love to see that. Yeah.
Awesome. What will be your advice to developers who, they want to build something, or entrepreneurs looking into getting into crypto? What would your advice be, especially since you have started your own company, your own exchange?
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it. Don't think so much.
The problem is in crypto is always thinking too much. Everyone is circle jerking, I like to say. Everyone gets high on ideas and very poor on the execution. That's the problem with a lot of the things in crypto.
Awesome, which is why our upcoming hackathon, which is actually currently running, will be a great opportunity for everyone here to really just do it like what Ben said. Because no point just reading about crypto, no point just thinking you want to do something. Why not just do it? And the hackathon is a great way for everyone to start with as well. So to end this sharing and to go on with our AMA, we will be taking questions from the live chat and also some from Twitter. Before we do so, let's ask Ben the last question, which is, what do you think is the future for this industry? Okay, maybe not the future because crypto moves so fast. So maybe we can say in the next 2 years, what do you envision? What will we see?
Ooh, I mean,
or undecided for now?
No, I definitely very bullish on the whole adoption speed. I think there are so many fronts that is going to happen. The DeFi space, I think more financial infrastructure is going to be built, and also on the CeFi part, that more institutions coming in, adapting and providing more crypto-related product to the mass, so that more people can come into the space, come into the forest. But then you have the whole NFT part. I think that's going to be massive. I think a lot more traditional, either entertainment, sports, or just IPs is going to come into NFT form. And then I think the whole metaverse concept is really start to form now. People will have their properties, NFTs, things in NFT form, in the metaverse. And that's just something that we can see already.
Yeah.
What's exciting is the
currently-
things that you don't see and you
So
don't
any
know.
prediction?
I
think
cannot. There's no way
audience
to
will be
predict.
very,
I mean,
very
if you asked me
interested in
2
this.
years ago, NFT, what is that? 2 years ago.
And
like
GameFi,
NFT,
like gaming on
yeah.
crypto is like nobody.
Yeah, so I think I think what we managed to achieve now is mass awareness. So mass adoption is on the way.
Yeah, like older friends, grandma, grandpa,
Exactly.
asking, how
So
can we buy Bitcoin?
It's you see different regulators embracing crypto. So I think its possibilities endless. But definitely very bullish, and if you are wanting to join this industry, do it now. Just do it.
So we are gonna make it WAGMI.
Yeah.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Ben, for just sharing about your experience in this space and providing advice to education DAOs like MoDAO as well. So really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So since we have some time left, let's also go through the AMA questions that some of our community member has given. For those of you that just joined us, a warm welcome. Please invite your friend over to the stream because we actually have a quiz in the YouTube description. You can click on it to do the quiz and we will pick 3 lucky winners to win Bit. So what is Bit? Bit is actually the governance token of BitDAO, which is a DAO treasury. If you want some Bit, stay on, answer the quiz, and then you can maybe be the winner of the Bit. So now, Ben, let's pick some questions from Twitter. This user at XDORZZ, he asked, what is the outlook and expectation for Bybit? Yeah.
Level up. That's the whole campaign that we're doing. Offering much more product and service. Pretty much, if you're a crypto user, we'll have the product for you. From fiat gateways, payment from local banks, credit card. We're gonna build that. Our spot is ready. We're fast listing the majority pairs. The futures, derivatives, is something we're very strong at. We're also pushing out the option product line. So option, European style option, full capability is gonna be out by end of December. Yeah, I mean, a lot more exciting new features. NFT market. I mean, there are a lot more in the pipeline. But I will be actually doing a product launch and showcasing, I think, next week. So check that out.
Yeah.
You will
Look
find
forward to
all
it.
of that. Yeah.
Next week, another sharing from
Yeah.
Ben.
Yeah.
Awesome. So next question, how do you view the coming Web 3.0? Do you think it's a buzzword?
No, I think it's a good concept. I mean, I think it's tied with metaverse and all of that. It's I think everything starts from, you can already see some concept being realized. I think the industry is going to move very fast into that general direction. So Bybit is also moving fast into investing and providing those products and service. Yeah, I think people are going to live in a very different age.
Yeah, the crypto age, especially with COVID-19 as well, everything is online. So I think this is also accelerating the adoption and growth of crypto, Web3, DeFi, and also CeFi as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question, what are the prospects for the development of BitDAO and the future of DAO in general?
From what I know, BitDAO is working with many projects. I think they have quite a bit of proposal going to be coming out very soon. The latest one I see on their forum is also education one with I think Harvard and MIT blockchain lab with some partnerships there. The future of DAO is the future of the company. Company are going to switch to a DAO form.
So will Bybit switch to DAO?
We are really switching. We are contributing to BitDAO. And the company is running a very kind of a decentralized way. But I mean, DAO is something I think very promising in the future. A lot of the company form will turn into a DAO form. What's really interesting is that it completely changed the labor relationship. In the company form, if you're an employee, you just get paid on a salary, and then the manager or the boss are kind of expecting things, and there's also a little bit misalignment in
No skin in the game.
Exactly.
You are just paid to do something.
Exactly, and they don't get the cut of their fruitation basically, and there's always a conflict between expectations and delivery, right? With DAO, it changes the whole relationship. It's like a company, but as long as you're a token holder, you become part of the company or the DAO. And work is going to be done on project based, because assuming most of the token holders are not going to be full-time working on this DAO. But when the project comes out, the holders would contribute what they can and complete the project based on the bounty, right? And based on your contribution, you get the part of the reward, which is completely fair. And because you're the token holder, you're the shareholder.
And you want the company to do well.
And it's all free will. You can come in anytime, you can go and you can sell it, you can buy it on Uniswap or whatever. It changes the labor relationship completely. And it makes everything extremely transparent, efficient, and fair, basically. So I think DAO is the future form, and that's why we believe in DAO very much.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Bybit really becoming a DAO, even though it's already a DAO right now. All right. So let me check the questions. We do have a lot of questions coming in from the live YouTube chat as well, so let's pick a few from there as well. Let's see. All right, so a question pretty interesting from Panic Matt. Just a simple question. Where does the Bybit name come from? Any history or story behind Bybit name?
Because initially it's trading everything by Bitcoin. That was the short acronym. Yeah. And I think it still makes sense that we want to trade everything by crypto. So it's hoping that the adoption rate of crypto is and we're gonna help to accelerate it. So that's Bybit what it means.
Oh, so it's a pun, buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, but yeah, trade everything by Bitcoin, use
Bitcoin.
everything by Bitcoin or whatever. And there's also another way to say it's the adoption is happening bit by bit. So it's also the name. Yeah.
Very strategic name. Very nice, very useful.
Yeah.
So next question from Felicia. Hi Ben, we are a small team struggling to find talents in the crypto space. Do you have any advice?
I think work with MoDAO.
Yeah.
MoDAO is going to incubate a lot of the developers, and I think one of your mission is to really find the best talent and help them to derive resources and capabilities to those young talents. Now, if you're a talent hard looking, I mean, the whole industry is also facing that. Is how do we get more developers? But I think you just gotta look to the outside, that people who has not moved in or developers, that we can help them to come into the space. And also, I think a lot of the developers we found are through the existing projects connections that works the best for us. Yeah, so I think there's different ways to try it, you know.
Yeah, especially because developer talents are so scarce. So sometimes you can start to learn how to build in Web3 instead of getting just experienced talents as
Developer is the most scarce resources in crypto, especially the ones that know what's going on and have built things. It's very hard to find. Yeah, that's a common problem.
And they are very high in demand. So if any one of you, or you're a developer, you are thinking of going to Web3, building blockchain projects, I think this is a very exciting space, and I think Ben agree as well, because a lot of crypto projects, DeFi, CeFi, are all hiring for developers, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Let's see. If you have any question, now is also a good time to ask. Please share in a live chat. We will pick some right now to ask Ben. Question from Izumi Finance. How does Bybit view DeFi and DEX?
Good question. I think, well, DEX is definitely a very crucial part for any blockchain, right? I think I think Izumi is actually a project Bybit also work with.
Also, they are right now in this
Yeah.
So hi, Izumi.
Yeah, Izumi go. So I think any chain need a DEX, need at least the basic few infrastructures, borrowing, lending. They probably need that, and also a DEX, like I mentioned, and liquidity pools and all of that. So I think that's the fundamental for any chain for now. And the problem with a lot of DEX, I found, at least from my experience, looking at the current DEX, is that they are built from a tech perspective. They are wanting to be decentralized because they want to build a decentralized form. Whereas when I build say Bybit or Accenture, we are built from client's perspective.
And solving a problem, right? You see
what exactly do they want? And how do we make the user experience flawless, right? And so we can onboard users. So that's the whole logic of building Bybit. Now, for a lot of the DEX, I don't think it's built through that way. I think we need more of that thinking and possibly not give up, but adapt a few things to accommodate the user need. I think it will be much more successful. So I think even Bybit would at some point integrate to a DEX. It might be the best hybrid version of what people want.
Awesome.
Getting the centralized efficiency and also the decentralization of a DEX and the security of that is, I think, what people really will love to look forward to.
Yes, definitely. Because now sometimes the DEX, the liquidity is not there, and then swapping, especially on Ethereum, the gas fee is higher than what you swap for. So I think if in the future we have such a solution, would be great as well. Which leads me back to our hackathon theme as well, because one of the track is multi-chain solutions in DeFi, which is something that we need to solve. So if you are looking to help to solve this kind of problem, bridging between chains, please check out the hackathon and submit your submission by going to the link in the YouTube description. So we are totally looking for solutions like this as well, cross-chain solutions. How do we make DeFi better? So very good. Any more questions? Feel free to type it in the live chat. Actually, we have quite a lot. So let's see. So this question is significant for the Indian community, and why I picked it is because actually Indian developers are a big bunch. It's like they are quite significant in crypto. So this is related to India. Hi Ben, Indian government announced that they are planning to ban crypto. So how does Bybit see the future for Indian traders and Bybit Indian users?
Right. Our approach for the local authority is number one, we want to be compliant, right? So there was a few cases where Bybit complied. For example, Korea was requesting only to allow licensed players in Korea. So we exit Korea, and then we never allowed US because we don't have the US license. China also was cracking down on crypto, and Bybit was never serving the Chinese users. So in general, we don't like to we like to work with local authority. Now, if let's say worst case scenario, the Indian regulators simply say we want to ban crypto completely, I'm afraid we have to comply, right? But if we look further, I don't think any regulator. I think it's a short-term pain, because if you look at the superpowers or majority of the countries, Singapore is embracing crypto, just offer this license. America, of course, is. Coinbase is listed. Japan is regulated. Korea is regulated. I mean, Germany, France, Turkey. I think it's a wave. So I don't think any government would permanently be banning it. They might be banning for short term, and they see the problem. And then they might review their policy and maybe open it up again. So we want to make sure that we'll be there when it's opened up and we can penetrate the market through the complete regulated compliance way. Yeah.
Awesome. So pretty good news for all the people interested in trading at Bybit. I think Bybit is pretty super compliant. So it really depends on the government, like what is the initiative, and then Bybit will comply from there as well.
Yeah.
So next question. We have a number of questions, so if we miss your questions, don't worry. Bybit has another sharing coming up next week on the product launch, so feel free to ask more. Maybe Ben can pick some to answer the next week as well. All right, Digital Flyer asks, what is Ben's take on Ethereum and new layer 1 network like Solana and ADA?
I think the majority of developers and developing community are still in Ethereum, right? I do see a trend of some of the gamified projects picking Solana because simply the speed and everything. For my take, I still think Ethereum is the main playground for developer communities, and I think developer community dictates where the industry goes.
True.
Right?
Developers are king.
Yeah, I've seen some other layer ones, but majority of the project are simply modifications of the existing Ethereum product.
And they use the EVM.
Exactly, and because the bounty, whatever, that's on the other layer 1, so there's an incentive for them to move. But I don't think innovation is happening. I think majority of the innovation is still happening in Ethereum, and I think so. I'm very still bullish on the Ethereum. Again, I think that's you got to look where the developer communities are. So you guys probably will be able to mention more on that as well.
Yes, and just to share as well, MoDAO, you can see it in the name. There is a mole. Yeah. So we have an analogy. We are digging for talents in space. We're digging like moles like that. So if you are a developer or someone that wants to really try to implement your own blockchain projects, or you want to explore more, feel free to check out our hackathon that is currently ongoing until the end of December this year. Other than that, if you're just curious, you want to learn more about Web3, about DeFi, you can also join our community because we will have a series of Web 3.0 technical workshops to share more about how to build on Ethereum, how to build with crypto, how to build on blockchain as well. Fantastic, I see so many questions for Ben. So Ben, you have a lot of questions to answer. We still have some time, so that's great. Keep your questions coming. We will pick relevant one to ask Ben as well. Let's see. Joseph Sinaga, COVID-19 outbreak has affected every business in the world. Is Bybit affected by this?
Luckily, we are in crypto.
Yeah.
So I think overall the crypto industry actually was on the reverse. We were the beneficiary of this whole COVID. I mean, COVID really kind of bootstrapped the adoption of crypto simply because, not because something we did right, was because the government was just printing out cash and printing out money. And everyone is moving into crypto because it's becoming more of a store of value, I guess, to fight with the inflation, right? So it really kind of helped the adoption of crypto, and we were lucky that we're in this industry, in this space. So we managed to actually grow both in the team size, in the business, and the whole business just grow. I think the whole overall, all the players, whether you're a CFI or a DeFi or a project, you all benefited from this bull run. So I think we were lucky. But always to make sure that we are focused on what we do and delivering the product. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So a Korean community user here, he or she wants to know more about DAO. So assuming that right now we are explaining this to someone totally new to crypto, how would you introduce the concept of DAO to them?
A DAO is just something that has no owner. It has no team behind it. It's the token holder. It's the community that decides all. It's based on a voting system. So whatever you don't like about it, you submit a proposal and you vote it. right? If the majority of the token holder is agreeing to it, the proposal passed, things will get executed automatically, right? The beauty of it is because it uses cryptography, it cannot be changed, and it's completely decentralized. So you can participate in DAOs and also being completely anonymous. There are many forms of DAO that's existing now. There's venture DAO that's focusing on investment. There's specific, let's say, NFT DAO that's focused on NFT. There's I think even gamified DAO that focus on the games. I think it's really the kind of the metaverse version of the company and the form of the company, right? I think what I explained before. Yeah.
Awesome. So thank you, Ben, for sharing more about like what is DAO to a complete newbie as well. I think very nicely summarized. All right, so we are reaching the end of our AMA, but before we reach the end, let's answer a few more questions. A hit fork, will Bybit or BitDAO put energy on metaverse?
Yes. So I think BitDAO is going to be very involved in metaverse. We can see that that's what the community wants, right? So BitDAO had submitted a few proposals recently. One is gamified, one is education. I think there's probably in the future much more coming out related to metaverse. From Bybit perspective, again, we're trying to figure out how to get involved. We are going to make a marketplace supporting both in a decentralized and centralized form. We are also looking into not only the NFT marketplace, but also the gamified platform, that kind of space. But I think a lot of exchange is looking into it, and we are all trying to figure it out how to enter and penetrate and be able to present a product that really helps people to understand and participate in metaverse. Yeah.
Interesting. So one of our track for the hackathon is also the metaverse. So if you have any idea, right, you can also potentially come up with a project, because this is so new, so exciting, and who knows, you may be the next Facebook Meta, because like Facebook started their own metaverse as well.
Yeah.
All right, so let's answer maybe 3 more questions before we end this AMA. So one community user want to know when options trading on Bybit, which I think Ben already shared with everyone.
Yeah.
Right. So it is in a pipeline, and you can
it's
come back next week
Q1 next year. The option. It will be live on our testnet by end of December, but Q1 next year it should be fully live. Full of all the features. So yeah, I don't want to be spoiling it too much, but there's a product review and launch next week. Check that out. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Question from Elo Heaven. Do you think crypto fiat payment rails are integral to adoption?
Oh yeah, extremely crucial.
Extremely crucial.
Yeah. So one of the area the Bybit was really lacking is that we don't have the fiat on-ramp, or we don't have the full complete solution. We currently only have the third-party providers. We work with, say, Simplex, Banksa, and all these guys. But most clients would probably prefer a straightforward credit card deposit method or withdrawal method, as well as a local banking transfer capabilities, even peer-to-peer, or they call it the OTC solution. So all these 3 areas, Bybit is looking into it, and hopefully we'll roll it out by next quarter. But it is a very integral part of onboarding new users, and it's actually infrastructure for any exchange that we should build. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So let's see. All right, maybe one last question, since we are talking about options as well, and just previously, a hit for how can Bybit options compare with Deribit, which is the leading options platform for now?
Yeah.
In the future.
Very good question. Number one is well, number one is I think the reason we're offering option is we're looking into the traditional space. Option actually is a huge part in traditional sector, that it has multiple times of volumes than their counterpart. But it's a huge undervalued sector in crypto. That it's the volume simply should be much more, right?
Yeah.
So this is why we are building the product, is to prepare the futures for that. And we have consulted with all the major institutions that currently does option tradings, whether it's on Bybit or on other exchanges. And we asked them exactly what is the products and the specifications they need. And one of the advantages that Bybit have is we have abundant liquidity in our, we have the most traded and perpetual books for our futures. So typically for any option traders, they need the futures or perpetuals to leverage their risks, right? So with that, we do have a little bit advantage, but with our option, it's gonna be a linear option. Since you asked more, I'll just tell you.
We'll just share more about Bybit as well.
It's a linear. It's gonna be a linear option, so that's gonna be a little bit different than the Bybit. And it's of course going to come with portfolio margin. It's going to come out. It's going to come with all the bells and whistles that people need, and it's a complete product. So check it out. End of December, we're going to open it up. Invite users to try it out and test, and of course all the major institutions going to come and try it. So yeah, we're very looking forward to the product launch. Yeah.
Awesome, looking forward. And next week you can join Bybit for the update as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Ben, for taking your time for this and also sharing your insights about the blockchain development space, how we are lacking developers, how education can help as well. So before we end this AMA, do you have any last words for all our community here? Because we have over hundreds of people here currently still in the live stream. Very eager to hear from you as well.
Check out MoDAO.
Thank you so much.
They have a hackathon coming up, and of course on Bybit part, we are gonna be leveling up our product lines, keep delivering the new products that the crypto users really need. Obviously, we're gonna stick to our things, listening to our community feedbacks. So if you have any feedbacks on the products you want, let us know. We will bump our game and deliver those products much faster than before, and that's our goal to get there. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's cheers to crypto blockchain.
Thank you.
Whack me.
Thank you, guys.
So thank you so much for joining us today. So just to share again, we are MoDAO. We are a new blockchain project focused on building developer talents in the space. So if you're someone looking to build in this space, you want to come up with interesting, innovative ideas, feel free to join our current Web 3.0 hackathon. We are one of the few hackathons that is happening on the metaverse as well. So do feel free to go to the description, check out the link to sign up for the hackathon. We'll also be running a series of Web 3 workshops over the next few days. So if you're someone that is not too sure what is Web 3.0, but you want to learn more, feel free to also join us for our free Web 3.0 sessions as well. Thank you so much again, everyone. Please stay safe in this COVID-19 situation. And then we will see you again next week. Ben will share more about the Bybit product pipeline as well. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.